conducted for the Patterton World War II at POW Camp and its Neighbours project. My name is Rachel Kelly and the respondent's name is Susan McClelland. This is the 19th of July 2019 and the interview is taking place at Susan's friend's daughter's home. Thank you very much for agreeing to be interviewed for this project, Susan. Could I please confirm your name?
Susan McClelland.
For the record, could I ask what your connection to the Patterton Camp is?
I lived quite near, walking distance. And my father was in the army, and when he would come home and leave, he used to take us up and he would speak to the prisoners.
Okay, so could you tell me whereabouts you were born, please?
I was born in Pollokshaws.
Okay, and where were you brought up?
Brought up between Pollokshaws and Thorneybank.
So you were saying that your father used to take you to the camp. Can you tell me more about that, please?
My father used to come home and leave in the army, and he could speak a little. So he would up and maybe take something up for the prisoners, maybe something sweeties or a wee drink of juice. And he used to take my sister and I with him. So we had maybe an afternoon with the prisoners.
And was this the Italian prisoners?
Italian prisoners.
So your father could speak a little Italian?
Slightly. Come stati and different words like that, you know.
Can you tell me what the demeanour of the prisoners was like? Did they seem happy or...?
Very lonely, I felt. They would come, walk the streets. They would go to the picture hall as well. We'd sit next to them in the pictures, and they would walk the streets. And I had an older sister, and my mother used to get quite annoyed when they would stand and look, maybe at my sister in the garden, and she used to come out and shout, "Away about your business!" Poor souls. But they walked in twos. They were always in twos. Quite sad as well. But there were no bother. No bother.
What kind of films did you watch at the pictures when the Italians were there?
It was the usual Rita Hayworth and Doris Day and that kind of thing. They must have understood the English, you know, it was American films you got then.
How often did you go to the pictures?
We went twice a week, it's all we could afford. There was a matinee on a Tuesday, and my sister used to get the money. She lived nearer the picture hall. Well, school was nearer the picture hall, and I was further away, so she got the money to pay for the pic, and I would meet her at the door.
How old were you, Susan?
Tuesday, what age? I would be about 11.
Okay, can you describe any recollections that you have of the camp itself, what it looked like?
A vaguely, quite poor, nissen huts and spared ground and things like that. But always managed to get into the picture hall. You had to sit next to them as well.
And could they speak any English?
Yes, broken English were quite good. Quite good.
Do you have any memories of them going to workplaces?
Workplaces, afraid not.
Can you remember if there was, for example, a football pitch at the camp?
I think they did play football. I'm not 100% sure, but they did. They did something.
Do you remember if they had any allotments or vegetable gardens there that you saw?
No.
Do you remember them having a chapel there?
Afraid not. I don't remember. I just remember my father. He was the one that was doing everything. I don't suppose I was very interested at that age.
Can you remember them doing any music or theatre out in the community at all?
No, just going to the walks and into the cafe and
So which cafe was it that they used to go into?
Leo's and the picture hall. They went into the pictures. I don't know whether they paid. Well, we had to pay, certainly.
So which picture hall was that?
The Avian. It's now a burger place.
Whereabouts is that?
Thornybank Road.
Any landmarks near it?
Quite near the camp, yes. Walking distance.
Oh, can you remember what they wore, what they looked, what their clothes
It
were like?
was a uniform. Rough looking. Very rough looking cloth uniform.
Okay, and what colour was it, can you remember?
It was brown, dark brown, but nothing in their head. They were quite good looking.
Do you remember the Germans when they came into
No, I
the
don't
camp?
remember Germans being there at all. We had Americans in Boylston Road, American Army.
So was that at the Cow Glen
That's
camp?
it.
So can you tell us anything about your memories of
I
them?
remember them. Get plenty of sweets and gum.
Anything else you can remember about the?
I think that's
About the
about it.
Americans.
Just them walking back and forward, you know. There was a girl lived beside us and she used to go out and speak to them. But my mother would say, "Go about your business, go about your business." But my father was quite friendly when he come home and leave.
Can you tell me about your experiences during World War II, just generally? Do you remember seeing any planes going
Oh
over?
yes. The bombs dropped quite near where we lived and we had to run into the air raid shelters. A couple of bombs dropped in the area.
And how did you feel about that?
Very nervous. Very nervous.
And did you have a gas mask?
With the gas masks as well. And the air raid warden would blow his whistle. Sometimes it'd be just finished and he'd blow it again, they would come back. Well, you could see the planes, see there was a factory there that made can't get the word out.
So those words, isn't it munitions?
That's it. I'm getting thirsty. And I think they were trying to bomb that. So with quite a lot of planes and bombs dropping.
Do you remember watching the newsreels at the cinema?
Yes, that was great. You don't get that nowadays.
So how did you find that? Did you find that scary or did you find that exciting?
I liked it. It's interesting. You knew what was going on in the world then.
What sort of sweeties were you able to get?
Sorry?
What sort of sweeties were you able to get?
Oh, dolly mixtures. In fact, we used to go, well, we were a wee bit older then when the Americans came. We'd get sweeties and chewing gum from them. They hung about the cafe.
And was that the same cafe that the Italians had hung
No,
about?
it's a different cafe.
So what was that cafe called?
Sandra's Cafe.
But before that, do you remember there being shortages of sweeties or?
Oh yes, we used to go to Woolworthshire to get coupons. Before you got a sweetie, you did coupons. And then I got a Saturday job in it, so I get plenty of sweeties.
Any other memories of rationing and what that was
Rationing,
like?
or your rationing book, I've still got one. That was terrible. There was an old woman beside us. She didn't use all her rations, so we got some of her coupons because my mother had a bigger family. She never had any family, so she was quite kind.
What did your dad do? Was he in the army or the navy?
He was in the army. He was a sergeant in the Pioneer Corps. He was in the First World War as well. Oh.
Where was he based?
He was based in St Albans in England. And he used to come up from St Albans and got up to Patterton for a walk.
Did you know when he was coming home?
Yes.
What was that like?
Great. It's lovely to get your dad home.
So what was Patterton like at that time? Was it quite...
Patterton, there's nothing in it. It's all built up nowadays. In fact, I used to have an old bike. I used to go up in an old bike. Well, that's when they all went away right enough. You were never allowed up yourself when they were there. But when they went away, we got an old bike and we used to cycle up there. There was dams and it's all built up now. You'll know that.
Did you go to school the same way during the war?
Did I go to school? Yeah. So John Sterling Maxwell, Pollock Shaws.
How did you get there?
Sometimes they walked, sometimes we got the tram. And we used to go swimming at 4 o'clock in the baths. It was great.
Where were the baths?
Beside the school. And they taught you to swim in it as well. Anna and I used to go.
Did you have to pay to get in?
You had to pay to get in. Is that what you said? Yeah, to pay to get in. I can't remember how much, but I know my mother some days, oh, you're not getting the money. But this chap I knew in the class with me used to pay me in.
Was he sweet on you? When you were at school, is that where you were taught to wear the gas mask?
Let me think. Yes, that's right. That's right.
Did someone come in or was it the teacher?
Be a wee box with the gas mask in it. That's right.
Who showed you how to use it?
Must have been the teacher, I would think. Or the headmaster, I'm not sure about that.
Okay. How did you feel putting it on?
Terrible. Horrible things. Hot. Very hot.
Was it scary?
No, not really scary. It was hot. Remember when it was finished, not when it was declared.
What was that like?
I was working at that time. I was 14, I think, when that happened. And I was in the factory. I started to bubble. Couldn't stop crying. Everybody was happy, but I was crying. Just the way it affects you, I think. That's all I remember.
When you look back at the camp now, you look back to when you were a young girl and you used to visit the camp, how do you feel about the camp now?
How do I feel about the camp? Well, I felt sorry for the men at the camp. Very lonely and sad, very sad looking men, I remember. But I would like to have been, maybe come up and visit, but my mother would, no way, I'll be about your business.
Do you know if any of them married local women?
No, I don't know anything about that. Just the girl that lived, maybe I shouldn't say this, beside us, used to go out the window and go out with them. Our mother, she was older, you know, she was working. And she used to go out the window and go with one of them, or two of them.
Do you know any other girls that did that?
She a young girl?
No, do you know any other girls that did that?
No, only this one. Just the one. Because she lived beside us, you know.
We'll not ask her name.
I can still picture her. She was lovely. But the mother, she went out the window a wee bit of prisoners.